Hello everyone, I am Arpita Davda. My research topic is 3D reconstruction of a cylinder from a single image. We have mainly focused on cylinders with highly specular or transparent surface. Akash Varasada and Dr. Min Nguyen are my co-researchers. Also, this research has been carried out in collaboration with Factian Intelligent Technology Limited. This presentation is outlined as follows. First, I'll start with a brief introduction of Factian and its services. Next, the rationale and significance of this research will be explained. After that, I'll briefly describe the traditional 3D reconstruction techniques with their disadvantages. I will also explain the setup for the 3D reconstruction of the cylinder. The methods to measure the diameter and the height of the cylinder will also be described in detail. At the end, I'll show the experimental results which will evaluate the accuracy of this technique. This will be followed by conclusions. So, I will start with introducing Factian. Factian specializes in factory solutions and intelligent manufacturing. It designs, manufactures, and maintains the production plants of some of the world's largest manufacturers. Factian manufactures different parts of consumer appliances such as washing machine drums, refrigerator doors and panels, cabinets and water heater cases. Most of the products manufactured by Factian are made of stainless steel. The material of the product makes the surface look highly specular, which means it is really reflective. This research has been carried out as a part of Factian's quality control program. Now, I'll explain the rationale and significance of this research. As we know, the inspection of the product is an essential part of manufacturing process. The automation and quality checking is also important to save time and to reduce manual work. It helps in increasing the accuracy of the output as well. Additionally, it is essential that the inspection process is not time-consuming. To overcome the time constraint, in some applications, only essential parameters of the manufactured object are measured during the inspection. For example, only the height and the perimeter are measured for 3D geometric shape objects. In this research, we mainly focus on cylinders. In the case of cylinders, its height and diameter are the essential parameters to be measured. Generally, a 3D object is reconstructed using multiple cameras or laser by using the concepts of stereo vision or laser triangulation respectively. Also, we require at least 2 images to get the essential parameters of symmetric 3D geometric shape objects. Moreover, the highly specular or transparent surface of the object is the limitation of stereo vision or laser triangulation method. In this slide, I'll explain the reason for not using the traditional 3D reconstruction methods. Stereo vision and structure lighting are two of the most popular 3D reconstruction methods. Stereo vision works on the concept of human eyes. It generates a disparity map by finding corresponding points in 2 slightly different images. However, it is difficult to find corresponding points for highly specular or transparent objects in the ambient light. Also, we can reconstruct only the front half of the cylinder in one go from the disparity map. Additionally, we can only calculate height of the cylinder by this method. Now in structure lighting, a light pattern is projected onto the object under the calibrated geometric conditions. However, the light pattern diffuses when projected on a reflective surface. The product is placed on either a rotating table or on a conveyor belt in this method, but it is very challenging to calibrate a laser and the camera with respect to a rotating positioning system. Moreover, we can reconstruct only half of the cylinder when it's placed on a conveyor belt. That's why we have not used these traditional methods. And now I'll explain our approach for 3D reconstruction of cylindrical objects. The figure shows the setup for our experiment. As we can see, a camera is looking at the cylinder from top. First, we need to calibrate the camera to perform metric measurements in the world coordinate system. The calibration plate is also shown in the image. The plate with hexagonally arranged marks is placed beside the cylinder to define the measurement plane. We capture multiple images of a calibration plate in different poses in a specified plane. These images are processed using Halkin software to obtain intrinsic and extrinsic parameters of the camera as a result of calibration process. Now, our approach for 3D reconstruction is shown in this flowchart. After calibrating the camera, the first step is to capture a single image of a cylinder from top. This is how the captured image will look like. In this image, we have extracted two circular contours which represent the top and the bottom of the cylinder. Now for the top of the cylinder, you can see that there is a highlight present near the edge, which is caused by the ambient light. However, even in the presence, we have accurately detected the edge of the product. After extracting the edges, we also need to find coordinates of the center point of these two contours to determine the position of the cylinder. According to the position of the cylinder, we get coordinates of extreme points of both contours. Extreme points meaning these points for horizontal direction and these points for vertical direction. Using the extreme points, the optical center of the camera and the distance between the camera and the cylinder, we can calculate the diameter and height of the cylinder. Here, the method to measure the diameter of the cylinder is described in detail. As stated before, an image of the cylinder is captured from top. We have placed the cylinder in a way that the bottom and the top of the cylinder is perpendicular to the optical axis of the camera. As the calibration plate is placed beside the cylinder, the edge of the inner contour, which is the red circle, represents the base of the cylinder. This edge is extracted using the Fitzgibbon method. This method fits an elliptical equation to a sequence of points and tries to minimize the algebraic distance between the given points and the elliptical equation. It provides useful results even in the presence of noise and occlusions. Now the detected red contour in the image is translated to the measurement plane in the world coordinate system. We measure the diameter of the contour in world coordinate system, which corresponds to the diameter of the cylinder. Now, I'll explain the technique to measure the height of the cylinder. There are three possible cases according to the position of the cylinder. First is the collinear case, second is the horizontally shifted case, and the third is the vertically shifted case. In the first case, the optical axis of the camera is perfectly in the center of the cylinder. Therefore, we get two concentric elliptical contours in the image plane. We can see that here. In the second case, the cylinder is horizontally shifted from its center position. Therefore, we will not get concentric elliptical contours. However, the center of these two contours share same horizontal axis in this case. On the other hand, in case 3, when the cylinder is vertically shifted, the elliptical contour centers share same vertical axis. Here, you can see it here. In this image, we have represented the elliptical contours which we get by capturing the image of the cylinder from top. We have also shown the contours in world coordinate system in the measurement plane, which is denoted by z equal to 0. Now we get the x coordinates of these extreme points in case 1 and 2 as both the elliptical contours share same horizontal axis, but in case 3, as both elliptical contours share same vertical axis, we calculate y coordinates of these extreme points. Now we already know the optical center of the camera from the calibration results. As we know the extreme points and the optical center of the camera coordinates, we can calculate ABCD ratio. Now this ABCD ratio corresponds to the capital ABCD ratio in world coordinate system, where A and D represents the height of the cylinder and B plus C is the diameter of the cylinder, which we have already calculated in the previous step. The diameter of the cylinder, we have denoted it by d1 in this equation. Now we need to calculate the value of x first. X is the conversion factor from image coordinate system to world coordinate system. We can calculate the value of x using the diameter of the cylinder that we have previously calculated. After finding the value of x, we have substituted its value in this equation to calculate a, b, c and d. Now as we know the value of a, b, c and d, we can use these simple geometry equations to calculate the height of the cylinder. Now I'll show you the experimental results. So I have used these three objects for my experiment: a transparent plastic cup, a can and a washing machine drum made of stainless steel. Therefore their surface is highly reflective. You can even see my reflection in this image. I have performed the experiment in ambient light to overcome the limitation of 3D reconstruction methods. Here we can see all cylinders with extracted elliptical contours. In this image we can also see the calculated diameter of each cylinder. By comparing it with actual diameter value, we can see that the results are quite accurate. Also we can see that the can is vertically shifted and the drum is horizontally shifted with respect to camera. On the other hand, the plastic cup represents the first collinear case. Now for each cylinder, we have measured the dimension for 5 different positions. We have shifted each cylinder in left, right, up and down position with respect to the optical axis of the camera. The results show that this method has the lowest accuracy of 94% for the plastic cup in leftmost position, and it achieves the highest accuracy of 99.54% for the can in the topmost position. As we can see, the diameter of the cylinders are quite accurate in all cases. To conclude, this is a simple, fast, feasible, accurate and cost-effective solution for 3D reconstruction of geometric shape objects. Also, this method is not affected by the ambient light of working environment, even for highly specular or transparent objects. Thus, we have overcome the limitation of traditional 3D shape measurement methods. The prerequisites are that the top and the bottom of the cylinder are perpendicular to the optical axis of the camera, and the edges of the top and the bottom of the cylinder are visible in the image. Also, the output accuracy is inversely proportional to the camera calibration error, and the accuracy of the output is independent of the size of the product and the displacement of the cylinder with respect to the camera's optical axis. Moreover, we can use this research to calculate the dimensions of other types of solid shapes such as cuboids or prisms. We can also calculate the volume and the surface area of the product from measured dimensions using this method. Thank you.